Hi, legends, and today we're going to be trying the final test of Hitman. Now, here I am behind the car and I try to enter. This guy, however, tells me I cannot, and I quickly react accordingly. Everyone else, though, overreacts, so new try. Now I am going to sneak in. I go over and I take this hammer. I hop this gate and I hear these two malakas arguing about something. Now I didn't listen to them, but what I noticed is that my target is planning to leave Cuba on a jet. Now I have my plan, which is to rig the jet so that he goes wee. Now Diana tells me how to do it. I obviously ignore her because no one tells me how or what to do. I go behind this car and I sneakily sneak into the bushes. Now I notice that the game tells me to grab the guard's disguise. I obviously, like the pro gamer I am, throw the hammer into his head so that he gets knocked out. Now I get his disguise and I go into the warehouse. I noticed these two people talking about dehydration, which I am not a fan of, but I ignore them and go to this man. I punch him and I go to read the safety protocol. I quickly read it and realize I do not need it. I go over to these people that talk about dehydration and I quickly teach them a lesson. However, I am quickly gunned down and die like a true warrior. Okay, whatever. We're just going to try again. I obviously try again and I again hop this fence and I again have to listen to these two people. But like the true alpha I am, I do not do that. So I just wait in the bushes. And now I have to wait for them to talk. I obviously don't like to wait, so I just move around the bushes to do whatever I want. Now I just wait and activate the story mission. I quickly take down this guard with my godly aim, and here I am, taking his disguise, and obviously I am going to activate the mission story. Now you can see me going up to the warehouse where I have to again read the safety protocol. I just ignore those two dehydrated people because they're not men of God and that is sinning. I read the protocol and I go to get the disguise. This guy tells me that he doesn't like my outfit and that I'm ugly, so I just kill him because I am a very pretty person. I obviously don't like what I did, so I go to hide and to shoot the people that are overreacting. The guy behind me though is shooting at me and I die again. Okay, next try. Now I will do it and I won't I won't do stupid things. Now I again listen to these two people and I really listen now because if I don't listen, I won't be able to do it. I wait and wait and wait as they talk, and then I finally move behind the car to wait even more. I activate the mission story and quickly draw one of the guards in. Just kidding, I use one of the coins and two people look at me, which I'm very shy about, but the guard quickly tells the other person to go and now he just comes. So I just give him a knuckle sandwich, which he very much enjoys. I knock him out and I drag his body to the human container, which is very conveniently placed right there. I take his uniform and I again go to the warehouse. Now, why do I keep failing? Well, mostly because I'm an idiot and I do stupid things. But this guy nearly spots me, and this guy knows that I'm an imposter. But I act cool and don't kill him. So I just go and again read the safety protocol. As I read it, I realized that I actually need to pay attention to the game. Wow, so boring, but that's fair. I go over, grab this wrench, and quickly introduce him to the mechanic. I grab the mechanic and place him in a box. I take the mechanic's drip because he looked dripped out, and now you can see my bald head, which looks like a neck. Anyways, I go over to the jet to disable it or whatever, but this guy knows I'm an imposter. So I quickly turn around and I have to go from the other side. I do it and I go over to tinker with the jet. I do my part and the mission story is done. But I shortly realize that I actually need to go to my target and tell him to come with me. So I just go over to my target. I quickly make my way over to my target. I first locate him and I coolly and swaggerly make my way up the stairs. This guy greets me, and that is very rude. So I am very tempted to throw the wrench at him, as you can see. But as a man of God, I resist my temptations. Here I see my target and I go up to him to tell him to come with me. He magically agrees, which is every stupid plot hole in any movie, but whatever. We start walking and I'm just gonna cut so you can guys see the results. Here we are at the jet and he climbs up. I start telling him about my ex-girlfriend and how she never loved me and how I want her back, and he just tells me to go on. But I cannot move on, so I simply continue to talk about her. He decides to eject himself and kill himself because he was so sick of hearing about me and my ex-girlfriend. Wow, pretty rude, but I guess that's fair and the job is done. Anyways, I'm gonna do it again because this video will be too short if we do it just once. Okay, here we are. Already having experience in this mission, it should be easy. This time I hop the fence and I do not listen to them because I don't listen to anyone. I make myself over this window, I hop the window, and I find myself over the other side without any disguise. This is very dangerous, but I am the alpha male, so I just don't care. I look around to assess the situation and I grab the hammer. Now I quickly throw it at this guy, and his friend is like, "Whoa, what happened?" So I quickly go over and tell him exactly what happened. Piff paff, here we find ourselves with his disguise over at the plane. I quickly see where my target is, and I go over there to kill him. Now, this guy up the stairs knows that I'm an imposter, so I have to wait downstairs. I try to do something, but I realize I can't, so I go down the stairs hoping he'll turn around. He eventually turns around, and I quickly start going on my way. I'm very afraid that he'll see me, however, so I go to the other room. I I make myself over and here he is, my target again. This time though, I go up to my target and I just look at him. So I go to the bathroom because I wanna pee. However, I don't actually wanna pee, and I look at around and I throw a coin. However, no one hears it because the door was closed. I open the door and I throw it again, hoping my target will come over, but actually who came over is his guard. Very unfortunate. Oh wow, but actually that's fair. Okay. The guard comes and he gets greedy, so I punish his greed by making him stay hydrated. But because I noticed he wasn't hydrated, so I quickly help him with that issue. I go over and see that my target's friend is here. I quickly pull out my AK-47 and I act accordingly by putting multiple bullets in his head. I find my target cowering with a bunch of his soldiers, and I decide to act like a true warrior. I take out my gun and I start killing. They overreact. Everyone overreacts in this game. I don't know why, and I die a warrior's death. Okay, final try. This time, I promise you guys, I will be the most professional assassin ever. I quickly grab the hammer and I hop this fence. I don't listen to them because I already know what they'll say. So I miss intentionally, but as I missed, my miss caused a huge overreaction and I died a warrior's death. Okay, this one doesn't count. The real final try. I grab the hammer and hop the fence. I don't listen to them because I never listen to them. Now I actually don't miss and I hop the window. Now you may notice I didn't take his disguise. And you may ask why. Because I'm a dumb piece of shit. Anyways, the guy notices me and I throw a hammer at him. This guy is like, Yena, Yena, you're not welcome here, so I quickly make myself welcome. I again go over to my target because last time I noticed that he was very, very dehydrated, which, if you don't know, that is against my political views. Just kidding, I like people to stay hydrated and you, the viewer, go grab a glass of water. Drink water. I quickly make myself go over there and I notice my target leaving. But his bodyguard is way behind. So I make a 3000 IQ play by blocking him with my sexy body and I start giving him a knuckle sandwich. I knock him out and I start dragging him over to the bathroom where I place him in a container. Now the target is already back and I go over to tell him that I am the real bodyguard. He believes me somehow, which gives me a chance to hydrate him. I throw a coin and the greedy bastard is like, what? What was that? And the greed overcomes him and he goes to check out my coin. I quickly go over and hydrate the piece of shit and he is now very, very well hydrated. And if you are not, I'll send Agent 47 to hydrate you as well. Anyways, legends, thank you for watching, you absolute legends, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember to stay hydrated, to follow God, and to also subscribe to my channel, as those are the three main things you should do in life. Bye.